What's going on, everybody? This is Dale from Upstate Bets and DFS. We are back, man. NFL season is back. If you missed the Hall of Fame game, you didn't really miss much. But we're back here on PrizePicks doing the NFL games here for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Right now, I'm going to be covering the Thursday games. I'm going to be doing a Friday and Saturday video, but Sunday there's only going to be one game. So I'm just going to be doing a little bit of Patreon work over there for that one. If you're into some MLB stuff, make sure to go check out the new podcast. Our buddy Zach and our buddy John is on there joining us for the podcast. Riaz does MLB stuff as well in terms of PrizePicks stuff. The podcast is really cool. Recommend checking all that out as well as checking out the Patreon. Everything will be linked down in the description below. Let's get ripping on this NFL season, man. Super exciting. I missed you guys. I know Riaz is not going to be joining for the NFL season, for the NFL preseason, I should say. But I missed you guys a ton, man. I'm super happy to be back. Just doing all the research was just so refreshing, just back here for another NFL season, and then we're going to get to NBA before we know it. So Upstate is definitely coming back at full swing. I know MLB's been a little bit inconsistent. It's tough, man. The slates come out at 1 o'clock in the morning in terms of when PrizePicks drops their stuff. And it's a tough schedule over there at MLB. I'm not a huge baseball guy, but Riaz has been trying to do his thing as much as he can to get baseball content out for your guys. He never missed a day over on the Patreon as well, and I know he's been high. He's been 6-0 in the past 3 days, so make sure to go to check that out. And let's get firing on this NFL preseason, man. If you're not a big preseason guy, I understand. But if you want to be like a degenerate and just kind of throw some cash on some preseason, I don't blame you as well, because that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. And I have 2 fire picks, honestly, that I want to get to. And the first guy I want to get to is here in the rushing yards, man. So I look at a couple of these guys. They have some starters listed here in terms of Saquon Barkley, which I just noticed they just took Ramondre Stevenson off the board, and there is a reason for that. As I was just doing my research, James White just retired. 15 minutes ago, James White retired. I was looking at a couple different things, and I was like, man, this Kevin Harris guy looks good. His rushing yards might get bumped up. It's at 24.5. Hop on this now. That's going to be my first pick here. Kevin Harris over 24.5 rush yards. He got taken in the sixth round he got taken in the 6th round out of South Carolina. He ran for 1,300 yards in his sophomore season over there in South Carolina. A lot of good things coming out of camp for him. They like his build. He's like a real big, stocky, lower body kind of guy. There's a chance for him to take first down reps. And another thing I looked at is Damian Harris. He's on the trade block. I mean, just about 7 hours ago, they're answering calls for Damian Harris. So now everything changes, because 7 hours ago, reports come out there taking calls for Damian Harris. 20 minutes ago, James White retires. Now the Patriots are in shambles. Damian Harris is probably unhappy. James White's out of the building. Ramondre Stevenson's probably not going to suit up tonight. Now you got Kevin Harris in the backfield that's probably opted to take 15 plus carries tonight, I'd imagine. And I don't think New England's going to shock us at all in terms of their play calling. I think they're just going to run the ball. Bailey Zapp is back there in terms of being handling the quarterback position tonight. I think they're just going to hand the ball off, man. Someone might come up from the practice squad and take a couple of those reps away from Kevin Harris, but this is something that could go to 31, 32.5 unless we hear news of, Ramondre Stevenson maybe coming back, and maybe they're just updating his line now. Maybe they're thinking that he's going to get a ton more reps, but I think this Kevin Harris guy is going to be solid. I think they want to see what they have in him, and don't be shocked if he goes out there and gets double-digit carries and runs for maybe 40, to 50 yards out there tonight. And like I said, the Pats, there's new faces in the offensive side of things. No more Josh McDaniel, and it's just going to be a little bit different. And I don't think they're going to shock us with anything here in terms of trick plays. And I know Zapp is projected to get 123 yards passing, but take a look at Kevin Harris for sure. He's one of my go-to guys on this slate, man. In terms of rushing yards, I'm going to lock him in. And I'm going to hop over to Fantasy Score here, and one of the most popular plays on the slate, probably just the most exciting person to watch here. A lot of people are going to be tuning in to watch Malik Willis here. I'm going to be taking him over 6.5 Fantasy Score, and I'm going to punch over for both of these guys. But for Malik Willis, man, Tennessee wants to see what they have. I mean, Tannehill's coming off his worst season as a Tennessee Titan. We obviously saw the meltdown in the playoffs with the 3 interceptions in a game where they probably should have beat the Cincinnati Bengals. and it looked really bad. And them taking Malik Willis, they really got him for a steal. Kind of late into the draft when people had Malik going to the Steelers in the first round. A lot of experts had that pick, and you see Malik Willis falling all the way down, into the third round, which is absolutely crazy. But a passing touchdown's worth 4 points over here on Prize Picks, and a rushing touchdown's worth six. And if we can go out there and see Malik Willis be that dual threat as he was in Liberty, his senior year in Liberty, he had 878 rushing yards. If we can kind of see him move on his legs a little bit here, I mean, is it crazy for us to think maybe he runs one in and runs for 30 yards and just absolutely smashes this, or is it crazy to think that he runs for 25 yards and throws a touchdown? I absolutely don't think so at all. I think he's going to get a lot of run here today, and I mean, in his junior year as well. I mean, he ran for 944 yards. There's another guy in the roster, Logan Woodside, I believe, that's going to get some reps here today. For the Titans, doesn't really scare me much. The only problem might be Malik Willis might really only get a quarter and a half, because if he's really really looking good, they might want to preserve him a little bit. But I think they're going to want to see what he's got. In full game action. I know it's just preseason, but I really do think they're going to want to see what they have in him. I don't really think they care much for Woodside. But although I don't think they're going to get too fancy in terms of running, read options and triple options with Willis, but I do think he's going to evade the pocket a little bit, and he could use his feet. And I don't think it's crazy to think that he throws for a touchdown or rushes in a touchdown and runs for 25, 30 yards. So that's going to be my two picks. Kevin Harris, ton of news circling around that pick in the last 8 hours in terms of the New England depth chart. So keep your eyes out for that. That line could shift dramatically. Something else can come out. Some other person from camp could be coming up and going to play in that spot as well. But I definitely would lock in Kevin Harris at this. Just stay safe with that one. And Malik Willis, just for the excitement factor, punch that one in as well, man. That one's going to be a fun game to watch, I believe. And I want to see what Malik Willis has, because my Pittsburgh Steelers didn't take him, and I'm hoping that we don't regret that. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys stay tuned with Upstate, man. We got a lot of stuff coming. MLB is still ripping. NFL is finally going to be ripping. We got videos coming out Friday and Saturday for that. Check out the Patreon for more stuff. And thank you guys so much. We'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.